the so-called conservative and libertarian movement, people are coming out of the woodwork attacking Ron Paul right now. And I've got a Mitt Romney article. In fact, you guys get it off the printer for me. I forgot to get it in here. Now, the Washington Post, where they say, it's Mitt Romney's job now, there it is, to derail Ron Paul. Romney cast Ron Paul as a fringe candidate. Says he's working hard to derail the Texas congressman. Well, I thought nobody liked him. I thought he couldn't win. I thought he was a fringe candidate. But you've got to work hard to derail him? Because you're discredited. You're for abortion, open borders, carbon taxes, and wrote Obamacare. This is all on record. And you're just like Newt Gingrich. Look, he's in 5th place now. Ron Paul is numero uno. He's rising in all the states. He's either in 1st, 2nd, or 3rd place. So that mind control mantra that he couldn't win is now failing. I wanted to get Gerald Celente's take on that briefly and then hit the 4 or 5 other trends he didn't get to out of his 12 trends. Again, Gerald Celente, Top Trends Forecaster, is our guest. And for the rest of the hour, Lindsey Williams, who just always has amazing information. And we'll do part 2 of the interview we started earlier in the week. And we'll open the phones up again for your questions for Lindsey Williams because they were really excellent questions, and I wanted to get to more of those. But briefly, isn't Ron Paul's rise another illustration of people really getting fed up and the fact that so-called MSM, the dinosaur prostitutes, aren't in control anymore and are getting more and more desperate?
Absolutely. You pick up the toilet paper of record, the New York Times. I believe it was December 19th, front page story. Mittens Romney all over the place. On Christmas Day, front page, Mittens Romney all over the place. On Wednesday, front page, Mittens Romney all over the place. Open it up yesterday, Mittens all over the place. Only time they talk about Ron Paul is in a negative light. Listen to what Fat Boy Gingrich said about people like myself that support Ron Paul. No decent American would support his policy. Call me, tell me I'm not a decent American, neuter. We can have it out man to man. And look at that little weenie up there over in New Hampshire. The guy who runs that rag, that newspaper, the Herald in the New Hampshire.
He called Ron Paul dangerous.
Yeah, no. And anybody that supports him, we're lunatic fringe. Let that little weenie come and call me a lunatic fringe.
Well, hold on, Gerald. That's exactly, you're right. That's what Mitt Romney's saying. He's saying the front runner that the majority of people are supporting, that we're bad too. No, yeah. You're bad, you hedge fund scammer.
Exactly. Exactly. But what the media is doing, again, where does Neuter Gingrich come out and say that any decent American wouldn't support Ron Paul? Who ordained this fat boy the arbiter of who's decent? This guy that's screwing around as his wife's dying in the hospital, one after another. And he's saying we're indecent? And again, this little ragmeister up there in New Hampshire with that crappy little newspaper out there says only the lunatic fringe supports Ron Paul. Who are these people? And the toilet paper of record, the same thing. Read their editorials. You know what they call Ron Paul's ideas? Claptrap ideas.
Oh, listen, final point on this, and we'll finish your trends, Gerald. I know you got to go. I saw a new talking point. Ron Paul may still win Iowa because his people are cult members and won't listen to us and our reasoning with them. No, people know you're a pack of scumbags bought and paid for by the mega banks that gutted and destroyed this country. We know you're a bunch of Tory redcoat supporters, punks, and if Ron Paul doesn't win this time, it doesn't matter. Our power is rising. The people don't buy your lies anymore, scum.
That's right, which brings us to the other trend. If Ron Paul doesn't make it, you better understand what you got out there, folks. The Gambinos and the Bananos, the Republicans and the Democrats, directdemocracynow.org. We have to take the power and put it back into the hands of the people. And all those trolls out there that say, oh, then we would have mob rule. 51% would rule. What do you think you got now? You got a gang of 535. That's the mob in Congress that's ruling. Another trend, and again, they all tie together. Going out in style. People need to rebuild their self-respect. You look at the 30s, the worst depression up until now. Look at the style this nation had. Look what we were building. Look at the way people were dressing. Goes back to quality. You know what? It doesn't take anything much to dress up. It's not like, you know, doing exercise or going on a diet. You can look nice. You don't have to look like a cafone. You know what I mean? So what we're saying is step up to style because it builds self-respect. When you have self-respect, you don't take crap from Newt Gingrich, Mittens Romney, or rag owner McCabe up in New Hampshire because you have self-respect. Going out in style means buying quality, supporting local. The last trend, Alex, we're talking about the new energy opportunities on the horizon, the big ones now, the dangers of them, and what we can see coming ahead.
All right. Well, people can find more at trendsresearch.com. Gerald, thank you so much for spending time with us, and have a great and safe New Year.
And Happy New Year to you and everyone else.
All right. There goes Gerald Celente of Trends Research.